Alright, guys, it's time for our best of 7 Team Liquid map contest show match here. $100 on the line. Clem in the top right side of the map, playing for Team Liquid in the Terran. And in the bottom left of Lockdown, it is Solar. Now, this is, of course, a map made by Niala, guys. Big part of this show match is going to be looking around. You guys know me, I'm a bit of a sucker for the aesthetics of the map, and there is a big rocket launcher flaring off the side of this map, but also, of course, we will be paying attention to the map itself. At the end of the show match, I'll get the players both on call, and we'll kind of go over the maps and just get their thoughts, but I've already asking before each game what their thoughts are. Clem said, I've never played this map, looks okay though, not really sure. I'll need to play it to really feel. That's cool as, by the way. And Solar said, it's a 50-50 map. It's a standard macro map. You know, it's not really Terran nor Zerg favored. Clem immediately responded with, yeah, that sounds like it's a pretty Zerg flavored map that's like massive and impossible to kill Zerg on. And Solar was like, go play Protoss then. That just means it's a Protoss map, doesn't it? Huh? You just race switch, huh? Whenever the map doesn't favor you. Clem responded, of course, with a flexing emoji and a Protoss symbol. But did stick with his aforementioned Terran, thankfully. Now, oh, cool. We've got like some Zerg stuff getting operated here on the operating table. That is badass. And there's a whole bunch of Zerg infestation around the map as well. So aesthetically, I'm quite enjoying this map. You've also got these little kind of nice details on the ground. Of course, we've got a high ground natural with a very tight ramp. That's quite defensible. Protoss players will love this for 1-gate expanded PvP, which is obviously not often going to happen. Oh, yeah, can we run gambles? Sure, we should do gambles. It's a good idea. This is, of course, a live tournament. Helix, would you be able to throw one up for me or not possible? If not, that's fine. I can do them after this one. But I'm not sure if there's any other mods on who are able to do it. We'll definitely do bets from game 2 onwards, but that's okay. I'm not tabbing out now, guys. But I will. If Helix is on their phone in bed, they're not doing it. Oh, they've already done it. Oh, thank you, Helix. Helix is the best. We love Helix. We've got a nice screen here as well, guys. We can see there. Oh, there's a Shopify logo. Oh, I guess Shopify. Is Shopify sponsoring the Team Liquid map contest? I know there's Monster Energy logos as well, because they've been sponsoring since forever. But I guess Shopify Rebellion have been sponsoring the Team Liquid map contest, haven't they? The legends that they are. So good to see. Reaper's going to come in, guys, the standard hatch gas pool. And oh, interesting. Solar's expanded north, which I think is a huge mistake. And we'll talk. I mean, not necessarily huge. I think it's suboptimal. I was kind of brainstorming this, looking at this map before we started here on Lockdown. And I thought, oh, yeah, this will be the better base. But then I immediately went, well, where are you going to take a fourth? Because how are you going to get to this base up here or this base here? They're going to get sniped by Clem. And then it's going to be much harder to... And you can take this as your fourth, but it's just a bit harder to take. And I was thinking, even though this base initially is a bit awkward, this might be the better third, because then you get the creep out into these middle areas, even though there's a nasty tank spot here. I think you have to play Roach Ravager on this map, which is why I'm worried for Solar that he's playing Ling Speed. But I was thinking you take this third, and then you can expand south to the fourth, north to the fifth, and you can give one of those up if the Terran pushes it really hard and expand in the other direction. You can kind of go along both edges, but I do think the forward third will become standard on this map once the players have a bit more practice. A little scary jumping over that little warning red symbol there, but it is what it is. This is a third command center build into Hellion Banshee, about as standard as it comes for Clem. No surprises from the young Frenchman. The Reaper is bouncing those units as much as it can. Zergling's chasing after the Reaper right now. Reaper's going to try and back away. That's a good snipe there. Don't want to lose the Zerglings, though, so he's going to split them up. Does take 3 Hellion shots to kill a Zergling. Surely they'd escape if it was any lesser Terran, but this is not a lesser Terran. And Clem cleans up all except one. And that one should get stopped by those before it gets high ground vision as well. You can even check here. He didn't get to see up the ramp. That's Solar's vision we're looking at. That's a really nice start here on Lockdown. Even if a map is relatively standard, just the new aesthetic, slightly different design is always going to be interesting. But like I said, this whole middle area is just nasty for siege tanks. And who knows, maybe Solar takes the top left side and says, yeah, I don't want to fight it. But even then, tank here, tank here. How are you going to deal with these tanks in corners? Zerglings and Banelings, I just don't think can deal with certain tank positions on this map. But will Clem even take advantage? It's Clem. So Clem doesn't even think about siege tanks a lot of the time. He builds 1 or 2 for safety, leaves one on the high ground all game, and then he just goes to Widow Mines more often than not. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. Then again, Solar's Hydralisk builds have become so powerful. And going Widow Mines into a Solar Hydra build, not a good idea. Does not bode well for the Terran. Now, obviously, Clem comes in as a favorite in this matchup, but Solar always has very competitive games with him. Ooh, Banshee flies in and gets shut down before the cloak is even done. I mean, Clem's not lost much, right? He's only lost one Reaper for 4 Zerglings, even trading, but this is still very good defense for Solar, and Solar's just so consistent on these openings. Double Evo goes down not long after the double engineering bay. His lair is already almost finished, which, of course, you might be wondering, why is he gone such an early lair? Well, not only can he go Hydrogen straight away, but I think more importantly, it's just for the Overseer. Overseer will deflect the Banshees, and if you get that early enough, you can even skip Spores. So what would have been really cool, but he's not taking the risk this game, is if he'd skip Spores entirely, or only built one in the main, maybe, because that's the more exposed base. Look at this, he's going to lose the hatchery. Oh, great move there by Clem. Transfuser's coming down at the last second. One of those Banshees falls. Beautiful. Dude, the way Solar waited so long on those Transfusers, I was like, what an idiot. Why is he waiting so long? He was baiting him. 100% baiting him. Comes in and gets 4 SCVs at the same time. And Clem, off the worse for wear off of this opening. Hellions also missed those Zerglings, which means they could easily go back in there. Hydrodent 1-1 upgrades are on the way. And how far behind is Carapace from +1 attack? Always like to check that. 34 seconds, 49. It's not even a 15-second upgrade advantage for Clem. It's like maybe 14 seconds there. Splitting hairs. But point being, if you're close to the Terran in upgrades, there's not really much of a window for them to catch you with that double upgrade advantage. Hatchery going there as well. Until you leave, the balance of map pool untouched for more than 4 months, and suddenly Zerg just wins everything by default, says Rakanichu. Wait. Oh, I'm so curious what discussion you guys are having, and if you're being serious. Do we think Zerg wins the longer they're on a map pool? Well, I do find that Terran does best on an early map pool because they're naturally more aggressive, and people just aren't as used to defending properly. So the aggressive faction, like Clem, destroys new map pools. Hero's the only player who can really match him there because Hero's even more chaotically aggressive than he is. Hero's better at adapting, I would say, than Clem. Ooh, going into the main, nice drop here. But it's definitely something where I don't know about Serral getting stronger as the season goes on, because I feel Protoss is the one that ramps up the longer a season goes, because they are the most fragile and they die to the most random things if you're slightly out of position. Even though you've got things like recall and stuff in the build-up phase, Protoss likes to be so greedy. But once they get better at threading that needle as the season goes on, I feel like Protoss generally gains the most power, but it's so player specific. Like Hero often gets worse as the season goes on. Creator gets so much better. You know, Showtime often gets better as the season. It's the very defensive Protoss players really improve the more time they have on a map pool. It's you know, the very defensive guys just get better and better. I think Serral probably gets better and better, even though he does mix in a lot of aggression. Clem sometimes, I think, gets a little bit bored and complacent as a season, and frustrated as the season goes on, as a balance patch as the map pool goes on, and especially his, you know, Terran versus Protoss, we've seen that. But his TVZ, I think he's always happy to play. Does deny this top left base. As I said, it's always going to be hard to defend multiple sides, but that's fine as long as you got this 5th in the bottom. 4 bases are up. Solar's got an amazing income, but his infestation's not very early there, guys. About 820. Carapace is actually maybe slightly ahead of the +2 weapons of Clem. Clem's not found a way in. How many tanks did he build this game, guys? It was 3 siege tanks. Ooh, the Hellbats get cleaned up. The Marines do pick up in the north. Hydras and Lings down here. Solar's got to give up ground, though. No Banelings on the south. Way too much army in the north. He's going to go back to 4 bases, which, I mean, Solar's no stranger to being stuck on 4 bases. That's kind of, I would say, oh my gosh, he can't fight there, though. He's got to give it up, mate. Oh, he's hanging on the edge of tank range, which is incredibly dangerous. He wants to clear this push. If he can clear this push, that'd be amazing. 2 Banelings sneak through. They do force the Marines to pick up. The tanks will go down. But if Clem punishes in the north, this is the classic position where Solar sometimes falls apart, is Clem's split pushing is just a bit too hard. These Banelings, can Clem focus them down? If yes, Solar's in trouble. But if the Banelings connect, well done with the Banelings. Does take a Widow Mine, though, and those Marines on redropping will cause problems. Solar needs to regroup, send some reinforcements to the north. But another push is already coming on the south side. Lurkaden and Hive are on the way. Really good defense so far as Solar tries to expand to both sides of the map at once. I thought I'd start us on a more standard map here from a newer map maker. Ooh, a couple of the Lings and Banes do go down. Thought a good way to get these players warmed up. We're going to go a bit crazier on the maps after this one, or at least the ones that look the most interesting to me. Medevacs are going down south. Sporecrawler's waiting, though. You don't really want to drop into that. Oh my gosh, that's a big commit. And he wisely picks up and goes back to the dead space. does save all 4 medevacs. Solar, you can see, keeps on trying to struggle to figure out how much army do I put on each side. It's hard to anticipate as a Zerg where's the main push. If he's just distracting down here, you need most of your army in the north. But these queens also need to respread creep and then get out of there. Oh god, 4 queens in the open. That is a juicy pick off there. But the Lings are nearby. They save the day. The creep tumor survives as well, which is the most important part. And we also have 2 overseers. 1 in the southern army, 1 in the northern army. And it's all about keeping those units split. Generally, as a Zerg, one of the techniques you like to do is... Oh god, Widowmine drop. There's a Spore, it'll help, and some Zerglings nearby. I'm just going to take big damage on the way in. There's Hydras there as well. Actually, he's not going to do anything, I think. I think the Hydras with the Spore should do fine. A couple of these Spores get off, but only 4 drones go down. Good defense. Pushing the front as well. Clem is just utterly relentless, isn't he, guys? Having Hydras out this early is meant to wreck the Marine bio play because they don't have the tanks with the range. The problem is, Clem is just so confident in his micro, but units lost tab, dangerously close to 1,500 resources. 2 Vipers, Adrenal. We've got Frenzy, Seismic Spines, all the cool upgrades coming in. No +3 Carapace just yet. Of course, waiting for the 2-2 to finish here on the melee and range. But I think you can easily be down those upgrades. As long as you got Adrenal, you got Vipers, which hopefully... Are, yeah, look how quick he is. They just popped out. They're already gathering energy off that hive. Excellent. Hey, Pig, did anything change in the StarCraft update today? I didn't even realize there was a StarCraft update. You guys let me know if there was a patch or anything like that. I don't think there was, as far as I know. If there's any news, you guys let me know. Haven't really been reading the StarCraft Reddit or anything too much, but if there is ever any news, you guys let me know. Apparently there was a 200 megabyte patch. Oh, and who knows? Sometimes they just have these little phantom patches and no one really knows what's going on. Oh, decent Widowmine. Clem is getting into ghosts now, guys, and he's up on not just 4 bases. He's kept Solar on his side of the map. This is the moment. Oh, that Widowmine gets a lot of pains. This is the moment where Solar tends to take control. Vipers. No, Solar. No, 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 no. Okay, he does realize and pulls them back. Overseers in the back. Viking finds it. He's going to throw a Nidus Worm up now. At least I think he will. Double Lib in the south. Trying to be a nuisance. He's already got Lib range. Already got Lib range. Overseer goes down there. Marines up here. Solar wants to attack. Clem doesn't really have the answer, guys. He's got 3 ghosts, a Liberator, and a tank. He just lost the Libs down there to the Vipers. Clem right now dies to Lurkers. If you can get 10 Lurkers in his face, you win this game. Problem, it's Clem. Clem does not let Zergs push. Solar has the better army. He's got the better bank. And Clem right now is pushing into him on creep with a worse army. This might be gifting Solar the fight that he needs, but his army's not all gathered together. He's been distracted by the triple drop in the left. The Nidus Worm goes up north. He can start Lurker sieging this base, but there is a Banshee there and a turret, which means it's hard to send those Lurkers in on their own. Vipers need to head to this side. If he gets Vipers up here, it's enough bio to make it super worthwhile. But of course, the multitasking is always the issue. It's not that Solar's slow. He's one of the fastest players in the world. It's that whenever anyone's playing Clem, they are at a speed disadvantage just due to the nature of his freakish reflexes. You can see there, nice abducts, shuts down the triple drop. 2 of those medevacs had a bunch of units inside. Lurkers do come up north. Unfortunately, like I said, that turret and that Banshee causing trouble. Needs to pop out some Hydras there with the next wave. Big push down south. Ghost count is growing. He's up to 7 ghosts. That's still not enough to deal with Mass Lurker, but there is no Mass Lurker. There's only 3 of them. It's mostly Hydraling Bane attacking around 2 corners. A crazy attack angle right now for Solar. I don't know if this was the right angle for Solar to attack. He does kill a command center, but this seems like an awkward attack angle into a planetary. The tank barely survives. That was not the fight. That was not the fight at all. You cannot engage your opponent head-on into some of these choke points on this map. This is a map where he should have been busting up here or here with his whole army and making Clem come to him. But he got eager. He got a bit excited. Let's be honest, guys. I'd normally say that's horny behavior. I'd say he got a bit horny. He forgot to waistband it. Solar tried to go in there. And it's the correct time to trade. He had the bank advantage. He's got the numbers advantage. He still might win off of this. But that was not the cost-for-cost trade you want. He did not clear the ghosts. He didn't clear this tank. And it really cost him a lot of resources. He's still got a bank advantage. He's played an excellent early game. But if he takes another fight like that, he's done for. He's got to break this planetary on this attack. He's committing to the same angle. I think it's the worst attack angle available to him. I think he's scared off by the sensor tower. The Liberator in the turret Clem is defending the north with 2 air units and the threat of the sensor tower giving you early warning vision. That's so well done by Clem. His whole army is just this ball of ghosts down here, but he's almost remaxed. I think Solar may have given him a little bit too much time. Every second you distract him is also massive. Overseer in the south starts getting hit. Liberator does clear up 4 drones in that top left side. Marauder's distracting. It's a minimal commitment. Picks off the creep, picks off the queen. And he's just keeping Solar back. Solar should be forcing fights right now. The Vipers not landing parasitics or abducts on those, which is unfortunate. Little marine drop down here as well. This one will get shut down, it looks like. Neither abduct or parabomb that bad boy. Pushing in the front, dude, that's so ballsy. Clem is pushing with like 8 ghosts and 2 libs. This is the dumbest push I've ever seen. But if you're as fast as Clem, you are able to bully your opponents, and that's what he's doing. He's just trying to bait you into the recessed position. He's got the tanks libs further back. Like, pushing in there is so beyond unnecessary. Everything you watch Clem do, guys, do not copy it at home. It only makes sense if you are the fastest player in the world. But if you are that fast, you can dance around your opponent. You can get away with these sort of unnecessarily risky moves, because the risk just becomes so much lower when you are running circles around your opponent. Now, to be fair, Solar's still got a massive bank advantage. It's the units lost tab and finding an attack angle on this map that he's severely struggling with. And like I said, he needed to hit that third. That third's the base without the planetary. That's the most vulnerable base. Blinding Cloud does go down. Ling's getting on top of these ghosts. Very nice move, but the Hydra's are a bit too far behind. Parasitic Bomb is there, and I think it's pullback time for Solar here. Gets a few units, gets a few medevacs. Not a bad trade for him. He's way up in supply. He's still got good bank, but he's got to rotate up north. The Lings get through on the north side. A couple libs ain't enough to defend that. You need something there that can actually deal with those Zerglings. He's tearing down divas. This is always the most exposed angle. I remember talking to a laser about this years ago, back when the Lurker meta first came in. And he was saying to me, you know, it's always the third. The fourth is the planetary. That's the angle. If you get on the third and you get Lurker's Siege there, or you just get on top, even if you don't, like, they pull the SCVs, you clear so many depots, gases, command center has to lift. It always finds damage, and it's the softest angle that is always there. 3 Liberators get flanked on the south side. Solar's going to break Clem here, I think. Clem, he's trying to get his ghost count up. It's getting pretty high. The Hydra Bane's going to force him back. You can't be standing in snipe range, though. As you see the snipes, he tries to lunge away. He does take out the planetary. It's a get in, get out. That is the name of the game when you're playing Zerg versus Terran, because those snipes, there are always these D-bags with their big, gigantic 50 cal sniper rifles behind you. It's a whole bunch of guys in space armor that can do magic with their brain that are also carrying 50 cals, man. They've got bloody Barretts. Up in the top right side, we've got another Nidus Worm in the main. He's going to try and penetrate in there. Clem does still have a big army. It's not over till it's over. The next few fights really do matter. The Vipers get EMP'd. Solar's got to be careful fighting on this southern angle. He's chasing right now. He's also got a Nidus in the main. There's nothing inside the Nidus. Lings are on the rally as well. What a banger of a first match we've got here on Knockdown, guys. This is a really fantastic game, and Clem, he went into range libs really quickly, which I think was very smart against this this kind of, you know, style where you're not going tanks early. You just get a few siege tanks. But he's actually also pivoted back into siege tanks. He said, my gosh, I can't quite deal with this Hydraling Bane lib. Hydraling Bane Lurker. I've got to get some tanks in here just to stabilize. So he's got 2 factory tank, 2 port with reactor lib. Can't afford all of it, though. And of course, Solar has the money right now. He's got the moolah. A couple Lurkers and Vipers here. These ghosts, I mean, you want to jump on these, dude. I feel like a Ling flank or something could be good. He doesn't have any Zerglings here. A few Lings on that base do take out 6 workers. Drones going up north are going to think about taking that base. This Liberator gets chased off by a single Hydra. Well done. He jumps on the south. The ghosts have been so good at pulling away, but they've got very little support right now. The planetary, it's a new planetary. It finishes just as the Lingbane Hydra Horde comes in. The Hydras are trying to get on top. Remember, these are the modern 125 hit point ghosts. This is a terrible fight for Solar. The ghosts hold there. Yes, he gets 11 SCVs, but the moment the planetary is getting repaired, your Banelings are out. You don't have a way of either sniping the ghost down with just a few Hydras. I mean, there's a lot of Hydras, but it's not enough. Unless you've got Banes on top or Zerglings on top, hitting those ghosts, interrupting their snipes, and that is, of course, very hard to learn. Or not learn, to land, is what I was trying to say there. Lings are still rotating. This north side's always open as Zerglings. This Liberas for Clem has been incessant, but I really want to give Solar an S+ rating for his handling of this. He's been so good at defending the constant libs, and it kind of goes to show Clem and the other Terrans, they've been using this a lot recently. You can kind of see he's in practice against this. Oh, a Fungal catches 3 ghosts. He does pull back afterwards. I think that's the right call. Vipers are going to come down. He'll just abduct that lib in, take care of it. Another Fungal lands, but only on the Banshee. It was the early game Banshee. These guys need to get out of there. The Baneling tries to connect, not quite able. Still more Zerglings in the north. He's got a bunch of Lurkers as well. I think pushing into the natural and the production would really punish Clem. But man, that tank position. The first thing I said when I saw this map was, man, the tank positions on this map look kind of nasty, don't they? Libs come in, but remember, the Libs don't have vision unless you scan. They don't get full vision of the circle anymore. Ooh, Hydras are coming forward. The Ghost getting jumped on. Great engagement here for Sol. He's just got too many numbers. It's like 7 Ghosts, 3 Marines. Clem right now is a poor man, and he's fighting a rich man. And he's realizing the rich man can't... Like, Clem's like, I called my cousins. I called my brothers. He didn't realize this is like a baron, a lord of the land. Sol is like a you know I have retainers, right? Like, literally, I have men who I can call in, the guys who hunt down my loans. I have friggin' dudes I can hire. I can get local gang members in here because I can get them more lenient sentences. Like, come on, man, you don't stand a chance. The Ghost trying to push up creep right now. Solar was not expecting that. He does lose a hatchery here. Zergling counter goes in the south side as well. We'll see what happens. We've got the Nidus Worm in the bottom right side as well. Top left side, it looks like those Hydras are getting... Ooch! Youchied. They're getting Youchied. Need to send a Viper up there. You've got to send a Viper. There has to be a Viper on anti-liberated duty. Now, if Clem brings this game back, guys, this will be an example, not of gross imbalance in terms of StarCraft, but just in terms of Clem's inhuman ability to hang on in a game where he's been a dead man walking for about 5 minutes. One fungal will end him, but he's aware of where the army is, and he snipes a high-energy infester. What a dickhead. I love it. Beautiful move for Clem, but that is a big army on top of him. That's a big army. He pulls behind the planetary. Some of the libs are facing the wrong direction. So much Zerg coming. Another fungal would be huge. The fungal lands, but he can't quite break him. Solar just can't break these effing positions, can he, man? Dude, planetary and ghost, the unholy combo. Top base is mining, but Clem's found it. I think Solar, is he about to crumble? I don't know how. He's so ahead on economy, but he's running out of units. He's got to break this northern side. He's just got to stop fighting into this base on the south. I honestly feel like that south has been a death trap for him in this, but this is what happens when you play a new game. He does get an orbital up here. There's like 20 libs. He needs the Vipers here yesterday, guys. Where are those Vipers? They are at home. They don't have a lot of energy. Solar, I think, maybe losing this game now. There's lurkers down here. Okay, he can hit this base. That's really important. I mean, but Clem's income sucks dicks, guys. Whoa, sorry, guys. We try to be PG-13 on this channel. Sometimes I just don't know how else to explain something. It's not a good economy. But Solar's losing a very important base. Solar's got a vital base there that's starting to run out. This base getting denied is massive. The Vipers need to abduct the top left side. If you can get a lurker behind this base, that's like half of Clem's mineral income right now. But Clem with these Liberators has just taken the wind out of Solar's sails. And look, another Liberator on this side as well. Luckily for Solar, no vision right now. And he's going to get a lurker behind these lurkers. This is really good. Clem's income grinding to a standstill. So both players have just taken each other's incomes to Dicktown. And it looks like, I think that's a little bit better for Solar if Clem doesn't clean these up quickly. That one gets cleaned up. These guys do move away. It looks like one lurker died on each side. I'd love to see him send another lurker in and try to run past to get it behind this mineral line, because that was such a good angle. He's got to be careful. There's so many Widow Mines. Only 55 drones for Zerg, which means he can't keep this up for much longer. Then again, actually he can, because Terran doesn't have much going for him. So the Vipers have to keep dealing with these libs. This lib harass has been absolutely frustrating. That being said, there's only 6 orbitals. There's no Iron Bank. It's not like he has unlimited mules. Like, he will eventually run out of scans and mules, right? Hydra's getting picked off there. Finally, Abducts does deal with it. I think 53 drones is actually enough, as long as you don't let this base go up. If Clem gets a new base, he's going to drop 12 mules and mine 2,000 minerals in the next, like, minute. And that's going to suddenly give him a massive army supply boost, where even Marines are pretty good units in this low economy situation. You don't necessarily need gas, and he's actually got decent gas as well. Solar's running around. He's looking for the angle. It's hard to find, like, where do we push? I still feel the natural is the weakest area up this kind of avenue, but this army's always so dangerously close by. Oh, he gets on top of the ghosts, and that is the move he was waiting for. Clem not watching for a moment. Solar was holding the middle ground. Clem did not have the map control he needed, and that is going to be a walloping maneuver. That might be game-ending that. Indeed, it looks like it is. Finally, after Clem taking heroic defense after defense, and Solar just not having any success, gets the most important base. Now, he does lose his hive, which means no more Vipers being rebuilt for you, but he's already got 3 Vipers, and honestly, I think one of the things we're learning here, guys, is there is a modern thing every Zerg needs against Clem in the late game, and that is a Viper separate. You have 2 Vipers with your army on a control group. You need a separate Viper whose job is just to hang around the edge of the map, waiting to abduct Liberators. If you don't have Corruptors out yet, which he never got to Corruptors in this game, and obviously I'm a big fan of Corruptors, but he did really well with the Vipers, so it's fine. I haven't been ranting about the Corruptors because it has been such a hectic game. I think, yeah, you got to leave a defensive Viper whose whole job is just to deal with the constant lib harass, right? It just sits there consuming hatchery and abducting libs into spores over and over again. Because you need your other Vipers on the front. But you can't, it's really, most players, the Vipers are always all on one control group. Against Clem with his lib harass, you kind of need them in 2 different spots. Oh, the libs come a bit too far forward. It's enough Hydras. That is enough Hydras. The Infestors are all going to die, unfortunately. He fungals the tanks, guys. It's a little bit like throwing a tennis ball at a real-life Abrams tank. It feels powerful. You know, you throw like a rock or a tennis ball at an Abrams, you're like, yeah, take that. But then as its turret slowly turns towards you, you realize you did F up. Thankfully, the Hydras and the Lings were able to carry through and kill those siege tanks. Solar takes an epic game 1 on lockdown. Oh, right, guys. Well, guess what? Solar has swapped colors to teal? What the hell? I thought he was blue. Okay, well, we'll make him swap back to blue. At least it's similar. In the top right side, on Old Sun Temple, a massive map. Clem in the bottom left. This map is, of course, made by Killer Smile. I thought this map was pretty big. Looking at it, it might just be gigantic. My lord. These spawns are weird. It's like a 3-player map, says Clem. Solar says, yeah, this looks kind of like Whirlwind. So apparently this is a 3-player map that they're saying. 1, 2, 3, 4, though. Oh, wait, I thought this was all 4 spawns, isn't it? I think this is all 4 spawns, guys. Let me very quickly tab out while you guys are on the screen to confirm. Old Sun Temple, expensive 4-spawn map. You could easily take 3 bases along your high ground, a 4th is right below your main base. 1 close spawn is disabled, so scouting is more straightforward. Both players would scout for the close spawn first and then move on to the cross spawn. So I think the idea is you can't spawn right next to each other. So, for instance, I think Clem knows that Solar can't be here. And likewise, Solar knows Clem can't be here. So I believe you can only spawn, like, vertically from each other. Or, oh, actually, no, it does. It's you don't know which one is disabled, right? So it's just you go to one of the close spawns, and then you know that it's cross map. It can't be the other one. Oh, I get it. Okay, I think I understand now. Yeah. And it pings 2 spawns at the start, so it tells you as well which ones it can be at the very beginning. That's interesting. Okay, that's awesome to see. All right, well, we've got a 1-Rax expand with an SCV scout for Clem coming out. Solar in the top right. It is a gigantic map. Now, what I really liked about this map is when I just looked at the architecture, I thought, oh, there's some good tank spots. These bases as well are going to get more and more spread out. And I love spread out bases because they're so hard to defend. And I really like when StarCraft pushes players to like push out to these far expansions. Like this expansion here, kind of terrible. It's got a ramp in front of it. It's got a ledge above it. Like nightmare fuel. So after your 3rd base, your 4th base out here is really far away. Your 5th there or in the corner, very hard to defend. So it's going to be very much a fight for map control. And, you know, this should give Zerg more aggressive opportunities. But the problem is when you're playing Clem, it does often feel like he dominates any map where he's able to, you know, just get aggressive and get rewarded for it. So we'll see if this favors Clem or Solar. I think it's a great opportunity of a map for Solar to do something like a 3-gas mass Zergling Baneling style and do a lot of Zergling counterattacks because a giant map like this, more counterattacks, more activity on the map, but cut a corner, don't go for the gas and the Hydras as early or something like that could be excellent. But he might fear the Widow Mines of Clem, and that's why the early Hydras, they did well for him in the last game, might just be what he goes for again here. Clem's cheating pig. Those things should have caught that Reaper. Yeah, well, if it was my Reaper, the difference is if this said pig pan in the clan tag pig, that Reaper absolutely would have got himself surrounded. Even if it actually jumped past in the exact same manner, I would have gone, ugh, panicked, had a jump scare, and I would have panic-clicked the Reaper back into the clutches of those Zerglings and got it killed. But somehow Clem avoids that. I don't know, like most Terran players watching this, I think are on my side. They're like, that's literally the move. And somehow Clem evades that. It's kind of like, you know, not getting 36 supply blocked as Zerg is just a weird inhuman thing that somehow Serral never gets supply blocked on 36, but that's like basically a rite of passage as a Zerg player. There's just weird things that these top pros, they should be doing, but they don't. Now, he did get the creep trim. It was an excellent start with that. The Reaper does escape the Zerglings. And remember, guys, there are boosty zones on this map all through the middle. This middle area is a scary place for Terran to fight. Wide open areas with boosty zones. Very good for the shorter range Zerg units to close the distance. So that middle area, I think, is going to be generally a kind of no-go zone for Clem, who's going to want to go around the edges. Now, I do think Clem really wishes he'd spawned on a close angle to Solar, where his push path would have been much easier. Playing this, he's got to play a kind of dropping multi-prong style. And likewise, if Solar can get to mutas, that'll be excellent. It really would, but I think he kind of knows. You look at a map like this, Clem is just going to shove Biomine and keep you on the defensive all game. So that how you can go into mutas gives him the opportunity to just shove and overwhelm you potentially. Mutas is a luxury one probably shouldn't be risking getting to on a map spawn like this where you do feel favored against him. And that's why I do like the early single Evo chamber. Get a fast carapace. Like I was saying, go 3-gas mass Zergling. Double Evo chamber. It's a very good way to get into that style. Viking coming forward, guys. Is this Viking into nothing? Oh, wow. It's Viking into a 2-1-1. Oh, so it's a modified 2-1-1. You don't normally see that, guys. A Viking and 4 Hellions and a Reaper, and then the double drop Marine. It's going to hit later than normal, but it's going to be much more surprising. This is a very cool move. If Solar gets caught going 75 drones here, thinking just like 16 Zerglings and 8 Queens, or 9, he's got a 9th Queen, 9 Queens are going to defend him. He may be in for a rude awakening. On the other hand, how many times have we gone, oh, he doesn't know the Marines are coming? And then you see, like, as long as there's, like, 9 Queens with transfuse on them, you know? They kind of go, we don't really care about you. If you don't have 1-1 upgrades and combat shields and the 3rd medevac of Marines just yet, not really that big of a worry. More of a creep clearing squad, probably. So we've got map makers in chat. They've said, if it's adjacent, then it isn't always counterclockwise close spawn for one of the players. Oh, isn't it, you're saying? Oh, I'm not sure. Never mind. BLTL has BRTR, BR and TR has BLTL. That's the spawn restrictions. I don't know what that means, but can you summarize that in English for me later? I'll talk about it at the end of the game. Queen's trying to pull back. There's no Banelings ready. The Hellbats are very scary. Sorry didn't catch the armory, guys. That's a big doo-doo from me. Solar's being caught, being exceptionally greedy. And dude, look at that. The landed Viking even helping out here. He just can't kill the friggin' Hellbats. They won't die. One Hellbat still standing. He's got 18 more Zerglings about to come out. There's not that many Marines. Solar will hold eventually, but at how many units does he lose is the question. That is a really good timing. 5 Marines, 3 Hellbats, a Viking, a Reaper. A Reaper, I don't know why I said it like that. 6 Queens, 3 Overlords, 30 Zerglings. Excellent start for the Terran. Luckily for the Zerg, Carapace is almost finished. Got a 4th hatchery up. Can he defend it, though, with only 3 Queens? That's going to be a very difficult proposition, isn't it? 10 Marines are there. Oh, I understand, like, BL is bottom left and stuff. I'm just saying, can you just write it in the full words for me at the end of the game, and I'll read it out once you're sure the way it works, because people are just theory crafting. Just because I'm commentating a game, so it's hard to translate and interpret at the same time, you know? Sport Queen here, gonna take some damage. Clem's gonna start to dance. Solar's on 74 workers, but he doesn't quite have the defense. Oh, these medevacs are a bit exposed. But turns out 4 Queens on their own, no match for 6 Marines with stim and shields. Ling's well positioned, but there's not enough of them. And oh my, is Clem about to win this game? Clem's about to win this game. I think he might be getting game-winning damage right now. More Queens are dropping, Lings are dropping, drones going down, mining time going down. Oh, this is nasty. At least a medevac falls on that side. On this side, he redrops. He gets the Queens again. These 6 Marines in a Reddit point medevac. Oh my lord. Okay, good mix-up for Clem. Clem goes for a little Hellbat timing there. 4 Hellbats, 2 Marines. I think the Viking was really good for disguising his intent on this one. And he just kind of said, I got to hit a sharp timing. I got to look for damage. Behind this, he was going Widow Mines and a 4th command center. He's actually playing quite greedy behind it, guys. He was saying, I'm going to just basically hit a sharp timing, be extra greedy behind it, go for 4 base, and then just try to biomine swarm. Because he just doesn't want to get... He knows there's a point where the fights get big enough, and Solar's kind of got these big Hydraling Bane armies running around or whatever, he's just going to struggle. So he does go, commits the aggression, and gets a very important win on cross-map Old Sun Temple. All right, guys, going into game 3. Solar in the bottom left side of X-Arch, a 4-player map. All spawns enabled on this one. Clem in the top left. To summarize that previous map, by the way, yes, indeed, it was just no vertical spawns, essentially. But this map is every spawn enabled. This one's from Avex, by the way. Last one was from Killer Smile. Or Killer's Mile, depending on how you want to say it. I always forget which one's correct. I think they're chill with either. First map was from Niala, right? And we've got... Is this a bloody gas pool hatch opening? Oh, hello. Solar says, big 4-player map. Wide, awkward ramp, which is kind of sitting behind the Terran Natural. And you can mine open here, or you can mine open there. And there's a worker-only path next to it, so you could sneak workers in the back door as well. Oh, man. I wonder if on this map you could sneak a probe in and then like get down here and build a pylon in their natural and hide in the corner. Oh, this seems like a map with some nice little cheesy spots potentially. Oh, also guys, because big 4-player maps are really hard to scout on, there's these worker-only little paths on the edge which massively speed up your ability to scout into an opponent's main base. So he's just confirmed, okay, you're not there. He's not going to continue scouting, and I think he just wanted to check. Okay, now my Reaper can go south, check if he's there. And then obviously if he's not there, we know it's cross map. The Overlord not quite placed on this pillar correctly, guys. Solar I know he looks like he's toasting his bum, but it was a bit too hot, so the Overlord's shimmied to the right a little bit. He needs to move up a bit, but it's hard to see on this map because of the visual effect where the air thing is going. You see that there's like a little line under the Overlord. There's meant to be a circle in there, but the circle kind of disappears into terrain sometimes, especially when it's a flaming thing like that. Now, link speed's on the way. Oh, he's going to lose the drone, is he? No, he's not. But look at that, guys. Link speed into Roachhorn. It's a big cheese coming out. Clem already goes, oh, this is fucking suspicious. Oh, geez. Sorry, guys. I keep swearing. Sorry, I went to a comedy show yesterday. There's a lot of Aussies and Brits and Scottish and Irish people. And turns out we swear a lot, and I've just got a lot of swearing in my... I was also up very late, so I apologize for those on YouTube. People who watch on live stream know that I've got sailor mouth normally anyway, but we do normally try to rein it in for videos we put up on the YouTube casting channel. A lot of people, it's something we changed. Some people still go, oh, Pig, I hate that you changed, you compromised who you are. I go, no, you don't understand, guys. When my real life friends who watch my channel are all complaining they can't watch anymore because their kids keep copying swear words they hear me say. You know, you gotta make an adjustment, you know? Roach is moving forward. Reaper goes down. It's a big surprise, guys. Roachling all in, and he's not ready for it. Clem, you need to get back to that high ground right now, bro. What are we doing? He tries to stay on the low ground. The bunker's only just started. Clem, what are we doing, mate? You gotta keep your pants up. Clem is so used to playing Greedy 3 Command Center no matter what, and Solar says, mate, welcome to the old school where you can't scout me as easily. It's harder to figure out what's going on. Clem's dropping a question mark. Mate, you can't 3CC every game. For those who don't know, guys, Clem is the best TVZ player we've ever seen, but he's also playing in a version of StarCraft where it's more normalized than ever. Clem's like, why did it come so fast? I thought this map was huge. And Solar's like, mate, this is the close map spawn. If it's cross map, it takes me forever. From here? Here, it takes barely any time to get across this map. Clem looked at the map and he just thought this big map, but he didn't realize, I mean, this from here to here, like from the natural is so far forwards. And by the time you move off this ramp, you're already halfway across the map. Clem caught with his pants down. Solar gets a cheeky victory there. It's a gas pool. This was a very committed one, guys. He went both link speed and roaches and ravagers. It's a brutal all in. Clem saw it coming and he was just so slow to build a bunker and pull back to the high ground. Whew. GG's. All right, guys. Solar up 2-1. We're going to go into Defender's Lab. Top right side it is Solar. Bottom left side is Clem. And it's going to be a kind of cool map. Aesthetically a bit weird. There's these white tiles everywhere. There's numbers on the ground. I don't know what those numbers stand for. And we are going to see what looks like a Tyrax Reaper opening. We've got some bases in the middle of this one that are quite hard to defend, including these rich gas bases out here on the corners, guys. You can see Solar's screen keeps looking at this rich gas base. So I think he set that as like his 6th base camera location already or something. For those who don't know, Solar uses a pretty old school setup. He still uses P for patrol. I wouldn't be surprised if he's reaching all the way to F9 and F10 for camera locations that he sets up at the start of the game. 2 racks on the natural, obviously. Barracks, gas, 2nd barracks. So 2 racks Reaper. I think Solar will be happy. He's gone for the hatch gas pool to defend with the Zergling speed. Obviously, Pig, the numbers are there for us to refer to them. Oh, he's taken the base 55. The question is, guys, does he go for base 75 or 44? I don't know, man. I'm more of a 45 guy, personally. I like an early 45. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that. There could be a little bit more life on this map, guys. I'm gonna go. I know I'm a bit critical. This map's made by Character, has made some banger maps in the past. This map is reminding me a little bit of what I was complaining about for years. Okay, this bit's cool. Okay, there's some character. And it's just, for many years, we had maps that were basically all garbage heaps. Everything was just metal and grey rock and drab and dead and nothing living. And I've been kind of on the campaign for years, every TLMC going, hey guys, you know what's cool? Trees, plants, birds. These all are in the friggin' thing, you know? They're all in, a bit of wildlife goes a long way, you know? Ooh, good snipe there for Clem. Gets himself a Zergling. It is a 6 Zergling start for Solar. And he builds 2 more. Is he already? Wow, really wants to shut these Reapers down, doesn't he? But yeah, I think one of the really interesting things is like, it doesn't have to be a crazy amount. Like, what was the map that Maras made? That had those 3 bridges on it, guys. And it had those trees with like the glowing purple flowers on it and stuff. And they were kind of like, And there was like the wooden plank bridge in the middle. I think it was a Maras map that was a few years ago. But I remember just thinking that map had some... It wasn't super alive, but the bits of color and life were beautiful. Lots of luminescence. Oh, the Reapers get themselves a drone. Pull back on the Zerglings. Reapers dancing in and out of the main. 3cc again. Clem knows no other way to play StarCraft, but only 3cc. To be fair, he's open with the 2x Reaper pressure, so it is a bit different. Oh no, Solar! Solar, what are we doing, mate? Leaves himself pants down. I think he thought his queen was up here and it wasn't, so just didn't quite have the unit in position. And now he's going to all in. Solar I think he just did he's pulled a dark, guys. Solar has just pulled a dark. He said, well, screwed that up. I took some damage. Now I need to go all in. And it's not a bad call, because with this build, your add-ons are on the outside because of the map spawn, but also this is your production. Your production's on the outside. Problem, Clem's going Banshee, which is the correct counter to the counter. It's the cancer to this. It's funny because it kind of means the same thing in gamer speak. They're like, oh, he's going Banshee. That's the cancer to my Ravager Ling. Second gas got spotted, which is already, I think, a huge tell of the incoming all-in, and I think there's no way you're going to get these Banshees to fly across the map unless Clem craps the bed really hard. Feels a little bit half-assed here for Solar, not going to lie, guys. I do think he's basically just trying to rush here and see if he can get a win, because he lost those 3 drones entirely unnecessarily. I think the first one was acceptable. The next 2 was a bit rough, and I think it's just triggered him. He said, well, screw droning, Roach Roar and second gas. Now he's layering and building drones, but he's already built 6 Roaches, and I think that might just be a bit too much of a commitment, especially with the main base left open, which means at least 3 or 4 more dead drones. This is really unfortunate. Oh, this is very painful. Oh, my lord. Massive damage. The Lings do come back, but look, he's already got 4 of them. He's going to take at least a 5th down here. Oh, and the Lings! The Lings are all derping out. Oh, there might be a bug on the map there, guys, with the pathing. Do you guys see that? The Zerglings were A-moved, and they were all bugging out on the high ground, like the baboons that they are. The Roaches will at least pick off the add-ons. Maybe with the delay on the add-ons, you can transition here. I don't think the Roaches can break through. Solar realizes he's too far behind with the Banshee wailing on him, and a bit of a whimper rather than a bang in game 4. Solar's first win, epic. Since then, Clem got a kind of nice timing attack, just caught him off guard. Good win, big cross map, fair call. Solar's done an all-in, quick, easy win. Clem just didn't seem to understand the map. Now Solar does a very half-assed all-in with a sloppy opening, gets shut down. I'm hoping for more maps like map 1 at some point in the near future. All right, guys. Going to the next game. We're going into Wavebreaker. Solar's in the bottom left. Clem's in the top right. I asked the players, have you played this map? What are your thoughts on it so far? Clem said, I played 1 game. I think he's talking about the Team Liquid map contest. He said, I played against Rogue. I got stuck in my base, and he made 1,000 changelings. ... And I said, oh, did you win? And he said, no, he won. He said, I swear changelings do damage. I know they're just a scouting unit, but I swear the more on the screen there are, the more my army melts in every fight that happens. He's like, I don't understand it. I hate them. And I was like, well, you know, Clem, that's the only way to counter Terran Micro, is you need to just lower the FPS, make that computer lag by putting 1,000 overseers and changelings on the screen. I'm like, Rogue's just thinking next level outside of the box. Guys, Clem once again has an idle worker. He had an idle worker in the last game as well. He keeps messing up his speed boosting micro with misclicks earlier. That's 2 games in a row he's done that. Wake up, Clem. Wake up, mate. So, anyways, Solar said, yeah, well, Zergs are always thinking next level. That's not unusual. That's not specific to Rogue. That's just, how we have to play our race. And I said, yeah, Terran have small brains. They don't really think. They just click fast because they're so small brain. Clem didn't sound, he was kind of like, as me and Solar bullied him relentlessly. But we are trying to bring him down a peg because we do expect him, especially the longer a series goes, to start like running away with more like free games, whether it be overwhelming in the mid to late game, but also his early timing attacks that we've seen. So, I'm just trying to get in his head a little bit, go on Solar's side, because I am kind of surprised that Solar obviously dominated him, in a few of these maps, but that last one felt like one of those moments where I'm like, ooh, not like that, Solar. Come on. Not like that. Get your stuff together. Reaper can jump up here and up here into the main from the natural. Oh, cool. Waterfall over here. Oh, I like that. There's also a Reaper ledge here, it looks like, and then there's just a front entrance. Now, your third bases are here and here. Obviously, this is a standard 2-player map, guys. No 3 or 4 players on this one. There are boosty zones here, Is that the only one? 1, 2, 3. Oh, right. So yeah, you can boost through the middle and shove across with a rush really fast here on Wavebreaker. The colors on this map remind me of the pediatrician's office in the 90s. Yeah, it's a very unique color scheme. Lots of red and blue and yellow. It does feel like you're in like a, you know, in like a children's playground, like for a very young child. It's like it's like a mock-up of like a fire engine or something. You know? You're like, this is totally a fire engine. It's just a few pieces of wood that you can climb onto, but you know, it's kind of painted vaguely like a fire engine. I like it. It's different. It's actually kind of cool. Third hatchery does go down south. So he does go for this side's third base. Interesting. And there's another one on this side as well. There's definitely a pattern of bases getting kind of spread out and more awkward as you go on, which I quite like generally. I do think that's quite fun. Third CC goes up at the front here for Clem. So I guess he's thinking about taking this base, maybe expanding towards the south. Pig, who would win, Clem's Protoss versus Clem's Terran? Dude, I've been wanting that answered for so long. I've even talked to Clem about it. I'm like, how do you think you'd go? He's kind of like, I don't know. I think he's like, oh, I think it'd be interesting to find out. I think part of him wants to balance line when you ask the question, where he kind of wants to be like, well, obviously my Protoss would win because Protoss is so imba. But then another part of him is like, well, he knows that he's very good, and he's not really sure what it would be like to play against himself, because he is aware that he plays Terran different to other Terran players. You know, faster, a bit more aggressive. So, and you can see him kind of improve as he adapts against each opponent, as he gets more experienced against a Bian or a Maru or a Kua. Kind of gets to he develops his own specific playstyle against each player, right? From the Protoss side, but... Oh, this is a Raven opening, guys. Now, Raven opening is really trash in this matchup, in my opinion. It comes back once in a while. I think you can add a Raven later on, especially with like a battle mech opening, but the problem with the Raven is basically clearing creep is about darting in when the Zerg's not in position, clearing the creep and running away for the most part. Now, people say, but if you do that with the Raven, you don't need to scan, which sounds great until you realize the Raven is really slow compared to the Hellions. It can't really keep up with them. So every time, by the time the Raven arrives and you can kill the creep tumors, there's 4 queens ready, damaging your Hellions and killing your Raven. So the Raven kind of, like, there are moments you can get value out of it, but you got to babysit it. Do not leave it near those queens. Maybe drop an auto turret to harass, it looks like he'll start with, and then rotate around for the creep tumor times. You can get value out of it, but it's a low impact investment. Now, luckily, the modern Raven's much cheaper than it used to be. It builds a lot faster, so I'd say it's way more viable than it used to be, in that it's you know, a 50 gas less investment, and it takes, I think, 12 seconds less to build. 11 seconds, actually, I believe. 43 down to 32. Going to try to run in the north, but Lings and Queens well positioned. And only loses 2 drones down the bottom. Solar's also taking this fourth. He's going to expand along the south, but Clem's already expanding in that direction. I don't know if I like this base, guys. I don't know if about this fourth. I think this fourth on the left, to me, looks a bit better, but I guess it's got this ledge above it and here maybe as well. I don't know, man. Not enough experience on Wavebreaker to really know. Spy is on the way, my man. He definitely wants to expand away from Clem and potentially give up bases. His Solar's trying to get away here with like a kind of, you know, greedy muta build. He's going to have very delayed upgrades. That's okay. Hellions trying to focus the hatchery down. I don't know if they're going to get this. Yeah, they do. Force the cancel rebuild. Creep Tumor goes down in the front. Could have maybe got a few more hits on that Raven there. Got to keep up with the Raven. The Raven's very slow, remember? So if you're on top of it, you can kind of stop it from really getting too much creep snipe. Because the Raven's a bit ahead now, the Queens are a bit slow. You can see he's not getting as many hits on this Queen as he would have on this Raven as he would have liked from those. But as long as he drops the creep right behind, it's not like it's a big delay, is it? Behind this, 1-1 combat shields. Are we up to 5 barracks yet? Yeah, there we go. 4th and 5th reactors on the way. Double upgrades are about 2/3 of the way done now. Normally he'll build a 2nd factory and then an armory. So he goes 2nd factory, 5th gas. Let's go to Clem's camera right now. As he comes in and clears more creep. And Solar's, I feel like, almost kind of letting him. He lets him up his ramp. Oh, Solar needs to spread those Lings. Solar panicking right now. Look at this. We're on Clem's view. He's even loading up the Marines. Let's go back to everyone's view. Massive, unforced error here for Solar. That was really unnecessary, letting those units in. And now the mutas get spotted as well. Does Clem turn around? Most players would turn around with the drops in at home and say, oh, let's make sure we don't lose that drop. Clem is going to shove with the Marines and try to snipe the hatchery as well because he's a psychopath. Yeah, he is. Look at this. He's going to try and get that 4th, which is probably the right call because he killed so much there. The mutas... Oh, my gosh. Solar loses 2 mutas. Solar's got to wake up right now, guys. 1-1 upgrades have started for him. 1-1 almost finished for Clem as well. 5 barracks are there. You know, I thought Solar would be getting up early for this show match. Does turn out, guys, he hasn't slept yet. He said before the show match, oh yeah, I hope this doesn't go too long. Got to get up for the GSL qualifiers later. And I was like, mate, we're starting at 9 a.m. Seoul time. I know you're on gamer schedule, but my lord, mate. He's got to be tight, man. He's on 77 drones. It's a big map. I think there's still plenty of room here against Clem, but you give Clem an inch, he'll take a mile. He's got that Raven on that left side, which is, I think, a sacrificial Raven at this point. Good to see Mutas get up. I just want to see him survive to the Mutas. And, oh, the Armory! Dude, he completely forgot the Armory. This is allowing Solar to catch up on those 1-1 upgrades. It's obviously not going to even out, but the 2-2 advantage should have been much bigger than this. It's a pretty big misstep for Clem. Marines are on the edge. The Mutas darting. Almost loses one, but it does barely survive. 8 gases are now up. 86 workers going at 88. The Marines are here. The Ling Bane should be close by enough to defend this. Good transfusers, man. Very good transfusers. Tries to go forward and focus a Baneling or two at the end. Very unnecessary. Most players would never have done that. But of course, Clem always looking for any extra that he can get. Oh, I do love this little crane across here. Or I don't know, crane, bridge thing. Industrial docking, loading bridge. I don't know what do you call that thing, guys? What do we call it? This is like from like a shipping yard, or a big like cargo shipping yard. Don't know what it's carrying. Marines moving forward. Thors are on the way. 2-2 started, but it's not as far ahead as I thought it would be. 4th Command Center is going to float out, but the Thors growing, the Widow Mine count growing, and most importantly, when are these Marauders joining in, guys? Hasn't gone 8 barracks yet, so it's a while till Marauders are here, which means it's still a very fragile Marine-focused army. Solar, he's got some Mutas there. He's got to be really careful with these Mutas. It's a big army. Small army on the south, but Solar sent his whole army north to deal with it. Oh, Solar making the classic mistake of sending his whole army in one direction. Oh, and as much as I love boy bands, as much as the next person, guys, when it comes to ZVT, one direction is not the winning play. Oh, Banelings almost connecting, but the hatchery goes down. Great snipe there for Clem. Muta's going to go for the counterattack. He's going to invest in the multitasking. Right now is Solar. He's going to up the ante, but there's Marines and Thors at home. Muta micro is good for Solar. Ling Bane microing forwards. Okay, the dance is starting now. He's going to deny the 8 barracks for a moment, which is good. The Thor on its own does not beat this, but the 8 Marines lift up as well. And of course, the medevac could always pick up the Thor to fly away. SCVs microed away from those Mutalisks as we speak. Hive has started 2-2, about halfway done for Zerg, getting close to finished for Terran. It's lost tab, only 1,000 in favor, and the fact that Clem has traded so little while being down 20 workers and not being that far out on upgrades is a little worrying. And he's got to feel the urgency now. He needs the tech labs on these barracks because, like I said, there's a point normally where Terran maxes out. They've got about 8 Marauders with concussive shells mixed into the army, 10 to 12 Widow Mines behind it, 1 or 2 Thors. That's where Mutiling Bane struggles. But in this game, he's not got the Marauders. It's not as high on the Widow Mines. There are the Thors. He is arriving with the multi-prong spread. But is he going to be able to push through right now? Ling Bane in the south. Can he gather up? That tank is taking a killer position there. Mutas will want it, but those Mutas cannot be clumped against this Thor count. In the north side, I'm still looking for trade. Oh, no, he wins that fight now. Holy moly, the Mutas might be forced to engage, but 15 Mutas can't take on that many Marines. He's getting bullied right now, that tank and the high ground there. Mutas taking out the Marines, but they massively overkill. He does try to get the Banes on top. He's not quite able. And this is a devastating series of engagements for Clem, who ran away with this game early. This was such a good start for Solar. He was all over it. And then I feel like that moment he let his guard down. This is what happens when you're playing Clem. The cancel on the 4th was fine. He's on 70 drones before 6 minutes. He's in such a good spot. There's 2 things that happen here. Number 1, he kept all of his queens together, which I understand because sometimes the Raven Hellion tries to engage your queens. But then he just went to sleep at the helm. And part of the problem here for Solar was Overlord vision. Notice he only had 2 Overlords out here. He didn't have any vision on this left side. The creep does see him coming a little bit, but he's just way out of position. And the Lings, if they were at least spread here and here a little bit, he could have stopped the Hellions coming around that corner. But now you're chasing the Hellions into the choke point, and this was a game-deciding misstep for Solar. Clem takes the ramp, takes control, and is now up 3-2. All right, guys. Solar needs to win this map to stay alive. It's Fear and Faith. He's in the top right. Clem's in the bottom right. It's not going to be cross-map, which Solar was probably hoping for. And that means Solar, he has a 3rd base here, but his 4th base sticking out like a sore thumb. 5th base sticking out like a sore thumb. What's the bet? He expands towards Terran, which I don't think would be a good choice. I think this is a pretty good map spawn for Clem. I think if it's forced cross-spawn, it's pretty good for Zerg. This sort of spawn, not as sure. Especially with Solar scouting left first, which means won't be identifying where Clem is for quite some time. This map is made by Omniskeptic, guys, and was the first map, I believe, to put these worker scout tubes along the sides of the map. You can only send workers through these tubes, these little monorail things. They are adorable. They give you a massive boost in scouting the enemy spawn locations. But is Clem actually going to do it? It looks like Clem's going to play nothing but a Reaper scout, and he's actually already rallied the Reaper in the right direction. He's hacking. He's hacking. Guys, he's cheating! Clem's cheating! Oh no, he's going to go for the SCV scout. There we go. He's going to use it, boys. Unfortunately, it's on the side of the map, so it's a bit hard to see there, but like I can't really zoom in without taking him off camera, you see? That's pretty cool though, hey? I love it, man. I love this feature. This feature's so cool, man. Shout out to Omniskeptic for making this map, guys. Of course, that last one, Defender's Lab, I think I mentioned it was, or the one before Defender's Lab was Character. The previous map was Avex, the water map as well. Thank you very much for the $4.20 tip there, Dan Archon. We are putting $100 up for this one, so if you guys want to help us cover show matches like this, do more fun content, please do consider tipping like Dan Archon and being so generous. Appreciate you, mate. Oh, it's happy birthday, guys. Slap down your happy birthdays for Dan Archon in the chat. What a legend. All right, Reaper was already rallying in this direction, but the SCV did confirm, saw the creep, saw the spawning pool. So the Reaper is here. Link speed has already started, but Solar has not taken a third. And one has to wonder, did he just forget to send his drone out? He's going to go third queen. He's still got 2 workers on gas. Oh me, oh my, what is this? Is Solar doing a naughty? It looks kind of like a Bane bust. I'm not sure about it. Could be like a lair. Could be a 2.5 base muter. Could be a roach build. I think we're going to see a lair on 100 gas. 100 gas kicks in. What's Solar doing? Sends a drone out. Oh, he kind of gets it blocked there on the queen. Could have tried to mineral walk it out and hope that Clem wasn't watching. Might have worked. His third's going to be massively delayed, and the lair does finally begin in that main base. A couple of overlords and drones building behind this as well. Keep things going. Lings will stop the Reaper from jumping up. Clem not lubing this Reaper up enough to slide past. It is going to be... Wait, guys, where's the starport? Am I crazy? Oh, there it is. It's built the starport in the back door for a slightly quicker rally. I think that's a Liberator then. Yeah, Liberator. Oh, look, guys, it's Blizzard Entertainment here. Unlike on the Inside Out map, it's not on fire. Still one of the funniest map submissions to a Team Liquid map contest. It's where they had an office building burning in the middle of the map, and it had the Blizzard logo on it, which was kind of funny. iCruiser, are you operational? Do love some of these little bits of flavor in there. A bit of overgrown hedges as well on it as well. Aliens rotating around. Third hatchery's almost done up north. Lair's done. Oh, this is like Shin style. He's going to potentially just do a big roach timing. Where you show them Zerglings, you show them queens. They're like, is it mutas? Is it a nidus? Is it just macro? And then you just, oh, it's a 2-base roach timing. You tricked me by building Zerglings early and 1 or 2 extra queens. Liberator, can it scout this out? He's already building this. He's scouted everything. He scouted with a drone. Oh, he sent a drone in his base using the tube to scout. That's so funny. The roaches are trying to hide right now. Beautiful pullback on those roaches, guys. Beautiful pullback. The Hellions trying to commit in. I think they might have glimpsed the roaches, but it's hard to say. Spore Crawler is moving there. Liberator flies right past. Gets 6 drones, which is not bad. I wouldn't say it's crazy damage either. I don't know if the Hellions have spotted this. Bunker goes down. I think he might have spotted it. Clem may have spotted what's going on. He's building a tank already. I think he's fine. I think Solar needs to drone right now. Obviously, with the Overseer, he could pick off the depots. He could do a bit of damage. It's not like it's all in. But that Liberator will be trying to return home to repair. Oh, look, there's a PC bang down there, guys. I wonder what games they're playing in there. Thank you, Lily. Double eBay on the way. Tank is here. Pushing up that ramp into tanks is just a no-go. Solar's pretty committed right now. And I think the moment that tank shot comes in, you know you're not getting in here. You know you've got to pack it away. Solar, you got to put it back in your pants. He's playing this like a big all-in, but the Roacher's got spotted Clem. He realized what was happening. The drones now start up. If this was just like 5 Ravagers, he could just pick off the wall. That would be so good, but the tank is too far back. The Overseer comes forward. You can see Clem's... yeah, technically you might be able to bile it with 1 Ravager there. You're not going to get 3 biles on that tank, not without losing your army. There's just no way. Solar has to just hang out here. He should be dropping the biles behind there to try and hit the repairing depots. And, of course, droning hard behind. Problem, 2 Hellions still on the map. They're going to kill 8 drones. Calling it now, guys, because there's almost no defense at home. Ravagers picking off a few depots is nice, but those 8 drone kills from these Hellions could be brutal. Then again, Clem not watching. Clem moves forward with some Marines. He's got to be careful. Ooh, the tank shots are good, though. That depot does fall as well. The Hellions did not get 8 drones. Clem actually making small micro mistakes. He's trying to push out right now. Clem right now pushing into the Roach Ravager like a mad dog. Maybe he just has a big enough army to bully Solar off the map, which is just insane. The power of Clem's macro. He's like, hey man, you may have committed to a huge 2-base Roach Ravager play, but guess what? Your army hasn't improved in a while. Mine has. 1-1 upgrades, 2/3 of the way done. Carapace has just started. Second Evo's on the way as well. Solar is on 69 workers, 6 gases. So basically, Solar just has to do nothing but build Roaches and Ravagers and think about securing a 4th. Like I said, I think Solar takes this right side base. I think the left is far superior. But because he's playing Roach Ravager, I understand. It's so hard to defend that from drop. So it's such a bad base to take, but when you're playing Roach Ravager, I don't really... You're picking bad or badder, I guess. And I think this is probably the less bad of the 2 expansion locations for a 4th. Did he have 24 drones on 1 base? So he was taking the gases. So the moment the gases take, that's 6 workers onto each gas. Bam, bam. So, very standard when your gases haven't been taken to over-drone that. And you can also get you can get decent efficiency up to 21, 22 workers on a base. With us still mining a fair amount. Most players, because the number turns red on the hatchery, think anything above 16 is bad. But especially since most players don't double up. For instance, like this patch here only has 1 worker on it. Solar had 18 workers, 19 workers here. They'd probably be very efficient. But most people think number turn red, number bad. It's always, I think for average Joes, good habit is have 18 out of 16 on all of your bases, especially as a Zerg, where anytime you build a spore or a spine or a building, you lose a drone. Is there a Pigstarcraft tournament tomorrow? It should be every week. Unless Stego said otherwise. He hasn't said anything to me about that. Oh, look at this, guys. Clem's going to scout for the hive. He's like, are you going hive? Are you taking up or are you all in? Look at this. Dude, both players taking turns to backdoor scout each other. This is so funny. If you can always just leave a few units there or try to wall it off or something, but neither side's done it. So he sees no hive and he's like, yep, I just got to survive. He knows Solar's pretty all in here. Solar, he has an Overseer, but it's a little bit far behind. If the Marines can focus, that'd be big. The Roach Ravager's a little bit clumped. They're not getting in on these left tanks early enough. He starts to get on top, but a lot of the Roach Ravager lagging behind. 2 tanks on the left side do go down. The command center tanking so much damage. The Marines come in for the flank from behind. Beautiful defense here for Clem. He's still got 3 tanks on the high ground. The Marines from behind. The SCVs, yes, a few of them sacrificed their lives. 17 workers might seem like a lot, but against a 3-base all-in, all you have to do is preserve your damage output. Solar clearly did not feel confident going to a macro game there, but shout out to both players actually utilizing the scouting there. I think it was about 6 minutes, was it, when Solar came in with his drone scout as well? When was that, guys? It was earlier even, wasn't it? It was like 3 minutes, 4 minutes? When did he send that drone scouting? Because that was actually hilarious. Nice win for Clem in this show match, guys. 4-2. Both players getting kind of vicious with the aggression versus each other, figuring the maps out. I'm so glad we got to see map 1. It was so fantastic. Solar's engagements felt a little off. Yeah, you're not wrong, but we also have to remember that he kind of was doing all-ins in positions where it felt a bit too obvious. It felt like Clem was 1 step ahead of him, expected what was happening. But this was really cool. Both sides took turns going through the back door and going, hey, what you doing? Oh, cool. It is just a standard bio transition. No worries. See ya. I'll come back later. And then at the end for Clem to do the same thing with his worker to check for the hive. Make sure. He's like, are you teching up? Do I need to take a 4th or push? Or can I just camp at home? And I love that he sends the SCV across to confirm that. This is so smart. He's like, you know what? This is cheaper than scanning your base. And I just love that he did this. This is so cool, man. Goes in, sees no hive. He says, yeah, I don't think I got to worry about anything. And of course, he sees the roaches coming across the front as well. I do think if Solar came around this left side with some roach Ravager, could have got on those tanks a bit earlier. But this command center tanks so much damage, guys. 1400 hit points on the command center. It actually finishes during the fight, so it gets to 1500 or just below 1500. It's not, yeah, he actually clicks another SCV on it. So he does finish building it. Very well played there by Clem. And 3 tanks on the high ground, everything fighting in close proximity. Sometimes players make the mistake of spreading their tanks out too fast. They're not all covering each other, but he was able to centralize his power here really well. And these Marines came in and got a pretty good fight on the back as well. The trick is always pull SCVs. When you pull workers, they're good at tanking. They're not good at doing damage. So you want to pull them early enough that they're keeping your damage units alive a bit longer. And that's how a worker pull makes sense. I too often at low-level C players not pull the workers. They lose their whole army, and then they pull the workers. And it's like, no, it's too late, man. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this showcase of the TLMC maps. I really enjoyed making the players play on the maps that I haven't seen very much of. Quite a few 3 and 4 player maps. Really interesting strategies. Great choices. First, off the top of your head, was there any map that you liked the most out of the ones we just played, Solo?
Which one I lost with this? The Wavebreaker. I think this is pretty good map for Zerg. I like the big maps. Yeah, this one is seems like pretty good for Zerg.
I think you took the 4th on the bottom side. Do you think that's the best expansion pattern, or would you maybe try expanding on the left instead if you were...
Actually, I can just take any side of the bases because it's a really big wide map. So I think taking the left or the right side are force blind for Zerg. Also, the last map was very interesting because the worker can just across go to the opponent's main base. So it seems like the early mid game you can get a very good scout with the workers maybe. Yeah, this one was
that was really cool.
Interesting. Yeah,
did you see that? Because you scouted him early on with the drone, and then he scouted just to see if you were going hive just towards the end as well. So that was actually really cool that you both made use of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can wall it off, right? I guess you could maybe just like leave 2 Zerglings there the whole game or something.
I think you have to leave some Zerglings or worker, anything.
And maybe Terran can just wall it off, right? Because they build so many buildings, they can probably just like build a few depots or something to block it.
Yeah.
I think Clem's on call now. Hi, Clem.
Hello. Hi.
Hey. GG's. So Solo was just saying his favorite map was probably the big water map, Wavebreaker, the one where he was trying to go mutas and you managed to kill him because it felt quite big. He likes having lots of space on it. What was your favorite map, Clem?
I think Wavebreaker was my least favorite actually. But
no surprises.
I don't know. I like the first one. I think Lockdown. It's pretty standard, right? But I think the game that we put on it was quite fun. And the base layout feels nice as well for Terran in a way because you can just expand towards the middle a little bit.
Yeah, I think you were top right and Solo was bottom left on that one, right? It was really interesting actually on Lockdown. So you took, I think it was like your 4th base down the bottom on that ridge. And you had like a siege tank on the little corner. There's quite a few really good siege tank corners on that map. And Solo was in a pretty good lead, but he kept trying to break that base. And that base was like a disgustingly good defensive positioning. You like kept pulling your ghost behind the planetary and Solo never had enough units. So yeah, do you think is this Terran favored, Zerg favored, Clem? Do you think it's pretty fair?
Well, yeah, it felt quite fair. Which maybe means that I liked it for Terran, but it felt like just a good map, I think, and I don't know, the map made the game pretty active. I feel like because you kind of have to expand towards your opponent a little bit, and there's like 2 distinct sides in the map, so you can kind of attack left, attack right. I don't know, it just felt like the map played out well. And then we played a lot of four spawn maps, which were a bit crazy because these are so big.
Can we stay on Lockdown just for 1 second? I wanted to hear Solar's thoughts on Lockdown. The first map we played. You said at the start, oh, I like this map, good macro map. But then you said, but once you get 4 bases up, like getting to a 5th base was really hard, yeah?
Yeah, it's really hard. It's like I think after taking 4th base, I think Zerg have to try to get a lurker or like something else can make Zerg safer. Like any units like lurker or ultra. And you have to get the late 5th base, I think.
Yeah, it was really hard to get that up, wasn't it? And I remember there was a moment because like you were kind of getting to lurkers and Nidus and all this stuff, but Clem was also, he's so annoying to play against because he just attacks everywhere. And
Yeah,
It's like you can have a tech advantage on Clem, but it's hard to find the timing because it's just he's got two or three drops active on the map, so it's very hard to ever move across the map, and that's why sometimes he's able to kind of get away with these things. So it's kind of interesting. I think for me, I always think Terran's a little bit more favored at the start of a map pool because they're a bit more attacking focused, and I think
Yeah.
players mess up on their defense just a little bit, and Terran gets like these extra advantages. Do you agree, Solar?
I think so, yeah. But I also love this map because if you kill the logs in the middle, like the logs fails off, and you can get like good tank position after kill the logs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the that side, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is pretty also very interesting as well.
Yeah, it also has those collapsible rock towers. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe if we play this map a lot more, Terran will push forward, collapse these rocks, and like set up tanks behind it, and actually do like a very annoying position. I think this might be a map because there are some very good positions before the rocks get taken down, where a lot of Zergs might feel like they have to play Ravagers, like Roach Ravager
Yeah.
start, just because otherwise the tank positions are so good.
Yeah. I think if this map goes on the map pool, I think maybe it's like the best Terran favorite map in TBCs, I think.
It definitely looks really fun though. Like I kind of like the
Yeah.
dynamic of your first four bases are quite solid, but then there's also some really good Terran positions, but there's also like a good bit of space between you. So, sometimes a map is like it's short rush distance and there's good tank positions, and it just feels like really Terran favored. I think this map seems to me at least to strike a pretty good balance between the two of it felt pretty fair there. I mean, it was also just the funnest map. We watched you guys play. It was so back and forth. It was really cool to see you guys brawl, but we'll
Yeah.
see how it goes anyway. Let's talk, I guess, about the 4-player maps now quickly. So we had a few 4-player maps. First of all, there was Clem getting confused about 4-spawn, close spawn, and just dying on X-Arch to your Rich Ling push out. I think maybe Clem didn't realize how far forward the natural is, and by the time you leave that ramp, especially if it's not cross map, ramp to ramp is actually not very far on X-Arch because the natural is so far forward, yeah?
Yeah, the map looked so big on the mini map. I was like, okay, it has to be like like decently big. But then his rushes were there before my second barracks was even done, and I was like, what? uh, yeah, that all in hit pretty hard.
Because you even saw it coming and you're like, I can start the bunker like 10, 20 seconds later. And you're just like, oh,
Yeah,
what?
because it's just like every time I see, well, yeah, it's like like when I go switch CC to 1-1, usually my second rack is like finished already, and I can make some marines and stuff, and it's always kind of fine, against all-ins. But on this map, it was not fine at all. Like it's just unstoppable if I don't have a bunker already finished.
Oh, and we actually hosted a slightly updated version of this map. So just to show people, sorry. How do we open media link? There we go. Okay. So this is the version we played where it is a little bit different. So Avex is going to update the middle area. You can see is quite changed in between these two images. Okay, fair enough. Cool. And I think this is just like there's a lot of curving sight blockers, and I think it's a watchtower in the middle. Whereas previously, or actually, I'm not sure. Are these sight blockers you added, Avex? It looks like these are sight blockers, which is really cool. I guess Avex will let us know in the chat, but that's cool to see that difference. So yeah, the 4-player maps are very weird. Is it just generally cross map good for Zerg? Any of the side spawns are maybe a bit better for Terran? What do you guys think? First of all, Clem on this map, the Avex X-Arch map.
Well, it's hard to say because I've already played like one TVZ on it, and it ended in like 2 minutes, so I don't know exactly. But I think the middle having a lot of speed zones is usually pretty good for Zerg. There's also some slow zones here, so I'm not exactly sure what to think about it. But otherwise, the map, even in cross, but it might not be like that big anyway. So it might just be like decent for Terran. But yeah, I would guess it's always better close point than.
What do you
Map,
think,
like,
Solar?
Actually, I just hate the 4-player match because depends on position. You get the advantage or disadvantage. So like if they want to add the 4-player map like this, I think you have to set the starting spot like the across or like something.
Okay, to
Like,
limit it.
Yeah.
Then it's a 2-player
but-
map.
Yeah, but I mean, 4 players might like in tournaments. Like sometimes I feel it's pretty unfair.
Yeah.
So,
It's really interesting as well because I look at the middle of this map and I'm so confused because like sight blockers and slow zones are so bad for Zerg, but speed zones are so good for Zerg, and it is like
Yeah, it
wide
is.
open. But I'm
Mhm.
looking at this and I'm thinking about playing it from Terran side. I'm thinking about playing it from Zerg side, and my brain kind of hurts. I'm like, I don't even know because like Zerg units when they're sight blockers, they'll all like clump onto like the one marine they can see rather than spreading out naturally and stuff. Like your units act really dumb with sight blockers and stuff. But then if you have like the overseers or you have the watchtower, it's not such a big deal. I think it's probably still slightly Zerg favored, this middle area, right? I think Terran probably wants to avoid the middle. What do you think, Solar?
The mid area, I think the sensor tower is a good for Terran. I think because if you get usually if you get the sensor tower as a Terran, like you always get a good advantage for split. Also, this map is pretty close from the bases base to bases, so I think it's very tough to hold something like 8 Rex or like early 2-1-1 or something. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, there's also some really good like ledges pushing like below the natural and stuff, and like where do you take your third and fourth base? It's like they get really exposed, and this is something we saw in all the 4-player maps. Like if we look at now Fear and Faith, that we played just at the end, if we're thinking about Fear and Faith, it's like okay, let's say your bottom right, that the top right, you can take your 3 bases, but then do you expand towards the opponent, which is I guess what you ended up doing on this map, Solely. You ended up expanding towards him. If you're playing Ling Bane or Ling Bane Muta, you could expand, like say, because you were top right, so you could expand all the way up to this top left side, and it's probably okay. But that's if you're in Muta Ling Bane. And if they're in bottom right, it's probably a bit too scary to defend the frontal push because it gets straight towards your natural so early, right? If they get ramp control, that's kind of where you're a bit screwed. So you have to defend like out front a little bit. Is it too scary to go mutas on Fear and Faith?
I've played Mutas once in TLMC tournament. I feel it's really good muta map, but the problem is like the third base. It's very hard to take third base as a Zerg
Yeah.
because third base is pretty far from the natural.
Yeah.
So if third base, if they can move third base a little bit close from the net, I think it's good. Good for Zerg. Just also it's great for mutas. Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe like because like if it stays like this, I would probably always go creep tumor before inject on my natural, just because I'd be like, I need to get creep out here. At least there's like the rocks up top, so the Hellions can't go all the way around. But I'd be like, I need creep here. I need like a few queens here, very early, or like it's so hard to get drones onto a third hatchery, right? It's so exposed. So,
Yeah.
and even then, that's messing with your build order a bit. Fair enough.
It is. Yeah. Oh.
Overall, are there any thoughts you guys wanted to share that we haven't touched on yet?
No, I just need sleep right now. Sorry.
No worries.
And
All good.
my
Thank you so
brain,
much for the show match, Solo.
Yeah.
Good luck in GSL qualifiers, okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, good night, brother.
So I played on Sanctuary 3, on in the Monday Night Weekly earlier, and I thought it was pretty cool. Like the layout was cool, the colors looked great. I think I like that map. For now, I also like the Warcraft 3 one, like Blackrock.
BlackRock.
It's called the one that has like Warcraft 3 theme, and it's kind of weird because he has grass everywhere and like side blockers everywhere. But it's also pretty fun. I like that one as well.
Yeah, I think Zerg struggle to engage on that one is the main complaint we'll get on BlackRock. Aesthetically, I love it. It's beautiful. You've got,
Yeah.
green everywhere. The sight blockers and choke points are weird. I think there's enough counterattack angles that it's not terrible for Zerg because they, if you play a very mobile style and I think you can still engage pretty well. But yeah, BlackRock's awesome. I mean, there's grunts on it. There's Orc watchtowers. It's cool that you said, the Sanctuary as well, because Sanctuary, we didn't get to play that today, but Sanctuary is a very pretty map. It's also kind of small, medium-sized.
Mm-hmm.
Standardish base layout. You've got some really nice ridges to push through. This feels like a Clem map. Yeah, this feels like a Clem happy place. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, oh, nice pushes through the middle, but also the bases are spread enough so that your like off-lane drop can like dart in and snipe a 5th hatchery constantly while your main push is set up in one of these other areas with like tanks on the ledges or widow mines spread around. Yeah, this does look like a map you'd really enjoy.
Exactly. And it's also medium size as well, which It's like because the maps that we played today, there were a lot of like very small maps like Exarch, right, and a lot of big maps like the bigger 4-player maps, I guess. But this one is more like medium sized, which is usually fits my playstyle.
Yeah. Not quite as cheesable, but also, you know, not too
Yeah.
big where you can't threaten the Protoss and Zerg and keep them under control economically, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. All right, man. This was great. Thanks so much for playing. Got a question. Avex made BlackRock. They've said, do you know about the tank ledge? I don't know about the tank ledge. What's the tank ledge? The droppable ledges. There's droppable ledge. What's a droppable?
Really?
Where?
Wait, like in the middle, like the
Oh,
spots where
these
orcs and
platforms,
stuff?
right? These wooden platforms you can put
Can
units
you
on.
actually drop on it? Wait,
Oh,
no
you
way.
can drop on those. Dude, how have we not figured this out? We are so stupid, aren't we, Clem?
Yeah, I didn't even think of trying to drop on it. That's
Oh,
really
yeah,
cool,
because
though.
no one
I'll
does
definitely
that.
try that.
But
Because
now,
there's two different ones, right? Like two in the middle and
yeah,
the
there's a
other
whole
one is-
bunch. Yeah, I don't know if you got the stream
Okay.
open. There's
Yeah.
there's 6 in total. There's big ones in the corners, which you could just chuck a tank on to be a dickhead. Oh my god! But then there's little one, another big one, another big one, another little one. Dude,
That's crazy. And the Zergs are gonna suffer on it against Terran. No, like you put some tanks here, you control the map. And it
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
fun. It sounds fun. I can't.
This
try it,
this sounds
honestly.
awesome. This is another Roche Ravager map for Zerg for sure. They play Mutiling Bane. It's
Or
either back to
Muta-
Mutas. No, just straight Zergling Hydra. No way.
Yeah, maybe not.
That's cool. Oh, dude, abuse that in TLMC. You got to take advantage of
I'll
that.
try.
Yeah, hopefully
Yeah,
the
I don't know
Zergs
if it
don't
has
veto
any
it.
use against Poras. Probably not that much, but could always be cool sometimes.
I mean, there's so many choke points. Maybe this is a map you actually could do it against Protoss, but pretty. I mean, if you're playing against the heavy zealot style ever, in the rare situation, right, where it's heavy zealots, and you're kind of you might be able to just throw a tank on one of those ledges. Maybe they're not quite next
Would
to
it be
any of the
useful
bases.
Would it be
yeah.
useful to put like a mine on it, like some mines?
Oh yeah, that would
I
be
guess it wouldn't
annoying.
really hit them. I don't know if it would hit like I'm not sure. Could also try that as well.
All right, great. Thanks for playing the show match. Good luck in TLMC and everything else, man. I guess we'll let you go.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, you have a
See
good
you next
night,
time.
brother. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for playing, and
bye-bye.
GG's. If you guys want to vote on these, voting will be open, I think, next week. So keep an eye over there. Go on the Team Liquid website and just, you can just Google TLMC and it opens in a week. So I'm excited to see which maps we end up seeing winning, getting prize money, and often that is a big influence on which maps end up going to the ladder whenever they do get upgraded. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much, Solar and Clem, for playing. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye and good night.